In March, myself, Oisin and our history teacher, Mr. Wishart, went on a trip to Poland to visit the Auschwitz-Birkenau camp along with the Learning from Auschwitz team. At the start of our trip, we went to a town very close to Auschwitz called Oisin. In the Second World War, it was known as Auschwitz. Before the war, the Jews had thrived in this town, making up 58% of the town's population. The great synagogue in the town could seat up to 1,000 people and was very well known for its beautiful interior. However, in 1939, when the Nazis invaded Poland, the synagogue was burnt to the ground and many Polish Jews were rounded up and taken to concentration camps. A story that had amazed us as a group was that a local resident had told a young boy about having seen the contents of the synagogue buried when the Nazis had taken over. A dig was then organised and a significant amount of material was uncovered. One of them was a menorah. The next part of our trip was the Auschwitz I camp. This was a former dilapidated Polish army barracks that was seized by the Nazis and turned into one of the most haunting places on earth. When we walked in, we were met with the same sign that many Jews had met when walking towards their death: work will set you free. The sunny weather had contrasted the gloomy mood that surrounded the area. We were then told by our guide that many prisoners would commit suicide by running into the electric fence. This had sent chills throughout our group. One courtyard in Auschwitz was a clear execution site, a shooting range where prisoners were shot in their thousands for the smallest of crimes. The museum throughout Auschwitz had given a clear indication of what it was like to be a Jew and to go through the awful torture of the Nazis. We were shocked to see how many personal items there were that would never reach their owner. There were thousands of cases on display. Many were labelled with names, places and date of birth. These cases could never have a destination. The final part of our trip was Auschwitz-Birkenau. The death camp went far beyond the eye could see, and we were shocked whenever we were told that was an incomplete build. The iconic railway that ran throughout Auschwitz carried many Jews in cattle trucks. We were told that after such a traumatic journey, the train would stop in the middle of the camp, and the bodies of those who didn't survive would fall into the ground. Those who did survive the journey would then be taken from their loved ones and separated into two distinct groups: those who were deemed fit enough by the Nazis to work in the camp, and those who were sent straight to their death in the gas chambers. This part really struck me, as I could never imagine being forcibly removed from my family. As we walked through the camp, we've seen many wreckages that the Nazis had created to try and cover up the evidence of the camp. Walking through the remaining gas chamber gave our whole group the chills. We were able to grasp the concept of what it was like to go through the daunting experience of what many Jews had went through. Many thought that they were going for a shower, but soon realised that it was their death sentence. Auschwitz and its surroundings remain one of the biggest open-air graveyards in the world. Auschwitz doesn't just stand as a monument to terror and hatred, but more importantly, it is a warning to the world of what humankind's intolerance and hatred can create.
Votam